This is already like my 5th take of this, so hopefully this one will work better. But the last few have been like 20 minutes of me rambling, so we're gonna try not to do that. I've got some bullet points, and hopefully that will help organize my thoughts a little bit. But anyway, let's just start. But before we get there, let's talk about the last few days of this challenge. On day 1, I got off to a great start with a 5-hour stream. Thanks to everybody who stopped by, it was fun. I managed to write a solid 14 plus pages and then went to do my 10K. However, while trying to run, I noticed I was experiencing some upper hamstring pain / soreness, so I switched to a mix of running and walking for the remainder of the 10K. I finished off the rest of the day with some reading, finishing The Warded Man, and I was ready to start with day 2. On day 2, I woke up feeling a little pain / soreness in the hamstring from the previous day. I immediately got to writing and started off the day with another boatload of words, managing to finish another 14 pages. I also figured out how my treatment translated to actual scenes so that I knew how much I needed to write each day to finish the book in 30 days. It worked out to about 4 to 5 scenes per day. Then I went for my 10K, but this time I immediately experienced some of the same soreness / pain while just walking. I didn't really think it was a big deal though, because it was pretty mild still. I ended with a really fun day of playing piano, reading a novelized version of Kimi no Nawa, Your Name, and started the Alloy of Law. Then I went to bed. And 7.5 hours after that, we'd arrived back where we started. Anyway, let's just start. Last night, I didn't get any sleep. And the reason I didn't get any sleep was because of the next problem that I'm facing. I am experiencing a decent amount of pain now from the hamstring problem. As I sit here, I have this low-level pain in the hamstrings just sitting, and then every once in a while there's potentially like a little pulse of like extra pain. It's not really terrible right now, you know, it's not like the worst pain. It's not terrible, but do I think that I should continue if after doing this for 2 days I am already experiencing this level of pain and it seems to be getting worse as the days go on? That is the problem that I'm facing, and that is the reason why I wasn't able to sleep, because in the back of my mind I just kept returning to this problem, this decision. Should I continue or should I quit? And there's a bunch of different factors weighing on my mind with regard to this decision. And, you know, some of you might be saying, well, if you're injured and you might be facing some sort of terrible injury, like why would you continue? But there are other pressures, things as simple as ego and the fact that I made this big proclamation about the challenge and how I was going to do this for a whole month. I made all these announcements, I was trying to build all this hype for this challenge, and I even made this community post where I asked if you guys thought I could do it. And you guys were so supportive, and it was so heartening to see. And so that's part of the reason why I don't want to quit, because I feel an obligation, you know, like you guys were so supportive of me. How the heck am I going to quit, especially here on day 3 of this challenge? The fact that I don't like quitting things in general is also another factor. You know, I have this stubbornness. And I think all humans have this to some degree, but I just might have a little bit more than the normal human being, probably. Which is good and bad. So that's one half of the equation, you know, I don't want to quit. And then also, I'm just really grateful for the support, and I feel an obligation to you to finish this. To finish what I built up all this hype around. But then on the other side, I have this injury that doesn't seem to be getting better from rest, and we'll talk about that in a second, and I'm making it worse with every day, to the point that it has increased. In the first day it increased by like whatever, from almost no pain to like 100% more, and then in the second day it increased from 100% to like 200% more than the original no pain or whatever. This is not exactly a good trajectory, and I don't want to hurt myself in a way that is, you know, long-term or permanent. I really want to have a body that can do fun things physically. I love playing sports. I love moving my body. I love being able to do things athletically. And I can't do that if I'm just wrecking my body. So for that reason, I'm thinking that I'm going to quit this challenge today. We'll talk about what that means for NaNoWriMo at the end. But first, let's just continue along because I think I have some explaining to do. I really want to be honest. And if I'm honest, I didn't really fail this challenge on day 3 here. I failed the challenge on day negative 17 or something, a couple weeks ago. Because sometimes I'm really bad about paying attention to my body and what it's telling me. I was just working out too frequently. Because of that, I didn't listen and I ended up hurting myself. However, I thought that it was possible that if I just rested for 2 full weeks, I'd be okay. So that's what I did. But even coming to the first day, I wasn't feeling 100%. And I was just hoping, really it was hope more than anything. It wasn't this rational thing, it was just hope that maybe it would work out. The thing is that there were other signs before this. Signs that I should have delayed this challenge. And I just didn't have the space to listen to them because of a lot of factors. But the first one we'll talk about is something I'm calling the YouTube hamster wheel. The way that making these videos works is that you start off making them and you get into this rhythm. You make a video every week or whatever. That's your schedule. So people expect that you're going to post every week. But over time, at least if you're me and you really want to make the best videos you can, you increase the quality with every video as much as possible. And if you're doing that, it ends up taking more time, and over time the videos are more complicated to make, but they're also better, and you just want to keep making them better, so they become increasingly more complicated, but you still have that same schedule and that same sort of deadline. And I was reaching a point for myself where it was becoming very difficult to meet the deadline, and it was taking a lot of my time to do so, which meant that I wasn't able to really take a lot of time to think about the big picture and think about whether or not it's a good idea to actually go through with this challenge or not. Because coming into the last week and a half before this challenge, I was working on 3 videos in that week and a half period, and I was very busy. I did not have time to think about whether or not I should continue with the challenge. Part of the reason why I was kind of hopeful that maybe it would work instead of actually looking at it honestly and saying, I don't think this is gonna work, is because if I decided not to do it, then that meant I was going to have to make all new videos for April. I was gonna have to come up with entirely new ideas for all the videos and create new thumbnails for all of them. And those 2 things alone already take a day and a half of work. So that's not some small commitment, especially since I like to be ahead of schedule and I'm running out of time leading into April. And also I'm working on, the novel and trying to make sure I'm doing the best job I can there too. So overall, it led to this general sort of overwhelm and inability to actually look at the big picture and to listen to my gut, which is the next thing. If I think back about it now, hindsight's 2020 and all, if I look back, my gut was telling me, I'm not sure about this challenge, man. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do this. Are you healthy enough to do this? But I didn't really have the time and or space or desire, because I didn't want it to be true, to listen to it. Let's move on to going forward, right? So I decided that I'm not going to continue with this. It's dumb to continue at this point. I don't want to have injuries for life, okay? I want to actually be able to make cool videos for you in the future, and I want to take on this challenge again. In Japanese, they have a word called rivenji, which is, as it sounds, revenge basically, but the meaning that they use is you're trying something again. You're trying to redeem yourself sort of for the time that you failed. And that's kind of what I want to do. I do still want to do this challenge. If I was healthy right now, this challenge would be so much fun. Getting to run every day, even if I'm not used to it and my legs are feeling a little beat up, it would be fun. I would love that. But unfortunately, I'm not healthy. So it's not fun. It's just me torturing myself and then being frustrated that I'm injured. The good part of the challenge though is that it has been revealing, it's kind of stress testing me as a person and revealing some flaws in my current way of doing things. First of all, it's revealing, physical problems that I have, like the fact that I need to learn how to better pay attention to my body. And when I'm starting to feel beat up, like maybe that's a sign that I need to take a break so that I don't injure myself so often. But another problem it's revealing, and it revealed just this night, is sleep. I've been working on sleep, and I've actually been doing a really good job this last week, but there's one thing about sleep that I still need to work on, and that is I get this like performance anxiety around sleep, where if I'm not able to sleep within like the first, 45 minutes, I start to worry that I'm not going to sleep at all. And then I start to worry about the consequences for the next day if I don't sleep at all. And of course, worrying is not conducive to sleeping, so that means that I don't sleep and then I end up not sleeping at all. Obviously, it's not ideal that if I have a little bit of a problem with sleep, I don't sleep the whole night. That escalation is a little extreme, I'd say. Okay, so it's 27 minutes into this video. This has got to be like 5, 6, 7 gigabytes already. That's some real meta, some meta information there. But I'm tired, so I'm just rambling. Going forward, what I want to do for the month of April. I'm going to continue with NaNoWriMo, of course. Like, I want to write this novel. This novel is fun. I love these characters. I want to write the book. So I'm going to. I'm going to finish NaNoWriMo, of course. And I want to finish this book in the 30 days anyway. Despite all of the challenges. I just won't do the physical stuff. Pretty much my schedule is going to look the same. Except for I might take a break and then read and then write. Just like I did last time I wrote for NaNoWriMo. But either way, I'm going to continue vlogging NaNoWriMo. There's going to be some other fun little videos in there. I have one already scheduled in that I worked on before. I'm going to try to keep it fun, keep it loose, have a nice time during this NaNoWriMo experience, and also, keep making some interesting videos for you all, because I am really grateful for this community. I'm really grateful for the support, and even though part of me is a little bit like nervous about the comments of this video and like, oh my god, you quit so quickly, blah blah blah, part of me also trusts you guys, because like every time I feel nervous about some sort of video that I'm putting out and like I'm judging myself for it, you guys are so supportive, it's ridiculous. So I'm sorry that I might have failed to live up to that support this time, but there will be revenge. Anyway, I guess that's an ending. Peace. I wish I could sleep.